All right, so you want to know how to use the Ultimate Book Revenue Calculator and find out how much you can really make from writing and publishing that book you've been putting off. Well, let's take a look here. First off, following the instructions, let's start here. Which one are you? So if you're the type of business owner who has online programs, courses, you focus a lot on list building, doing guest posts, interviewing on podcasts, and your real revenue and even profit is in the audience, whether it's in like a Facebook group or an email list, you would choose this one. But if you're the type of business owner who primarily sells services, right, and not necessarily information products like an ebook or a video course, you would select this one over here, even if you don't have the title of coach, consultant, or industry influencer. That pretty much falls under that one. So let's take a look at what it looks like to go through each of these and go through the customization of each of the numbers. So as you can see from the prompt, you're going to fill in the boxes below. So let's define what each of these is. And of course, these are the defaults, right? These are like industry averages and whatnot. So starting here, your business book launch audience. Now, of course, this is going to be a number. So this is everybody that is going to hear about your book launch from your perspective. So this includes your email list, your social media contacts, your Facebook group if you have one, anyone who's in your network that you expect to reach out to. And let's just say for the sake of this example, it's about 10,000 people. Now, your launch partners, these are influencers or even audience gatekeepers that you know, such as podcasters or bloggers or even magazines that you know would be happy to share the news of your book with their people, right? And you could have 5, 10, 50, even 100 people or more who are launch partners who are sharing the good news of your book with their people. So let's just say 50,000 people here for the sake of this example. Now, expected ebook revenue per copy. That's going to be about $2 if you're independently publishing through the CreateSpace platform. That's on Amazon if you're following that, as opposed to a traditional publisher where you might get a few cents per copy. And if you're going the paperback route, then the revenue per copy is going to be about $6. Let's say your book is $15 and you're publishing again through the CreateSpace platform independently, no middleman, as it were, part of the deal. So let's just say the average, is going to be, about $4 there, right? So that's what goes into the calculation. Now, this number, your average low-end product conversion rate. This basically means how many people do you expect to purchase this low-end product, right, your book, based on low-end products they purchased from you before, whether it was like a $50 course or a $19 ebook or white paper, right? So this is the conversion rate that you're expecting. And the industry average is about 4% for a low-end product, right? How many people actually convert and become customers? Of course, you can tweak that as needed. Now, the real money, as indicated in this quote from Jay Conrad Levinson, is not necessarily in the sales of the book, it's in the sales of your products and services that happen as a result of people reading your book and the doors it opens for you. So in this example, I've given you 3 potential upsell products to mention here. So let's say you're an online entrepreneur, and let's say you have your first course that people buy in your product launch funnel or sequence is $197. So you would put that in here. Now, your repeat customer conversion rate. How many of customers who have bought from you in the past, whether it's your low-end product or a high-end product, how many of your customers can you expect to reliably purchase this based on their past behavior, right? So let's say out of 100 people, maybe you have 7 people, 100 people who've bought from you before. Let's say 7 of them buy, right? Then that would mean you have a 7% conversion rate. What we basically want to do is we want to predict how many people who end up reading the book and hearing about the book are gonna, based on the expertise shared in your book, going to go and then buy one of the products because of the funnel you've put together, right? So we got 7% for this one, 5% for your second one. That's a little bit of a higher price point. And then for the product number 3, maybe your premium flagship course, about $24.97, then it's a 3% conversion rate. So once you get these numbers in here, you're just going to click Generate Personalized Book Revenue Estimate. And here is the grand total. So you see all of the calculations put together here. Your total audience size is about 60,000 people. Your average profit per copy sold is going to be $4, right? Because people might be buying the paperback version or they might be buying the Kindle version, right? The ebook version. And this is how many book buyers you're going to expect. So your book launch revenue, you see this here? It's kind of small, right? And this is what you expect. The real money is not in buying the book, or rather selling the book. It's in these numbers here, where people who buy the book become customers of your other products and services as they hear about them. And there's quite a few case studies you can look up of people who, just like Jay Conrad, made nominal cash off of the book itself, but the real money comes from the revenue generated by the book, not because of the book, or rather through the book itself, right? $282,000, 120. So let's take a look at the other example real quick here. Let's say you don't sell products, right? Information products or programs or courses. You sell services, right? So maybe you're a freelancer or you're a coach or you're a consultant, right? So this has to do with annual revenue rather than the total amount of revenue you can expect from your book here. A little bit different from the other one. So your annual audience size from speaking you do, keynotes, workshops, conferences, writing. So this article maybe on your blog or guest posts that you put out there, and then even interviews that you do, maybe on podcasts or on radio or even television, right? This is the total number of people who are going to hear about your book as a result of you doing these events. So you want to make sure that you have in your bio, a hyperlink that links to your book, your author page, so that people can reliably hear about your book consistently. Great habit to get into. Now, this one right here, book profit per copy with author discount. This is a bit higher than the other one. So why is that the case? So the way that the CreateSpace platform works, if you're going to independently publish through Amazon.com, right, the world's biggest marketplace, what you're going to have the opportunity to do is purchase author copies yourself, right, directly from CreateSpace, the printer, at a 85% discount. It's awesome. So let's say you're selling copies of your book for maybe 20 bucks. Then if you are, selling your book for 20 bucks and it only costs about $3 a copy, then what you're going to see is $17 a copy in profit. So that's awesome, right? Especially if you're, have conferences, right? And you want to buy, let's say 100 to 200 books, sell them each for 20 bucks, from the stage or after the event, and it only costs $3 a copy, even with shipping included. So $17 a book you make off. Awesome profit compared to traditionally publishing. Now, your average audience book pitch conversion rate. So this is the total number of people. Let's say there's 100 people in the audience. How many people are going to buy the book? So this is just kind of a low figure to start, right? Let's say maybe only 3 of 100 people who hear you at a conference or who hear you on a podcast buy your book. This is pretty low, so feel free to adjust this as needed. Now this, again, is where the real money comes in. Once people read the book and you've demonstrated your expertise and even you highlight case studies and testimonials of your services in the book, that's where people's eyebrows start to jump off their foreheads and say, wow, I think I want in on these other services this guy or this gal's got to offer. So your services package, let's just say you're the very first way people can work with you is $2,500. And let's say, people who've bought your book or they've paid to see you at a conference speak. What is the conversion rate, right? How many people do you expect, based on your past experience, to go from that entry-level product to purchasing your first services package, right? So this is, we just got here 1.5% conversion rate, and we've got those for the other two sets of packages. So feel free to adjust those as necessary. And then here, the services package price point. Let's say this is your second services option that people can work with you, and then maybe the grand flagship service you offer is $10,000, right? Of course, this is in dollars here. So put in your numbers here, and then click generate your personalized book revenue estimate to see how much you can reliably expect to make annually. A whopping $419,250 estimated revenue created by your book per year.